Time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor while Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoon Boom! This is a show where we wake up with the Saturday morning sun, popped on the floor with a big bowl of sugary cereal, and watch all your favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
This morning we watched Hey Arnold!
I remember being somewhat annoyed with the intro for the show as a kid, but when I watch it as an adult, I'm just like, it makes me cringe. I'm like, just stop with the Arnold! I'm like,
Arnold. Yeah, it's so weird.
Like
it's just, I mean, I kind of get it because it almost seems like everybody's trying to get Arnold's attention or no matter what the situation is, Arnold ends up being the one who has to resolve it, even if he's not qualified in the least to resolve these problems.
Could you imagine just based on just the intro and how many times you hear Helga yell his name, like binge watching this, where like you hear it every time?
This is what skip intro was created for.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because there's no way like that would, even if it was one of those shows where I was like trying to like fall asleep to it, that intro would wake me up every time.
So all the Marvel Netflix shows, I'm thankful for the skip intro because the opening credits are so long. I mean, the music's always super cool, but man, they're long.
Yeah, even like the best intros, ones that I love, I can only watch so many times before it's like, all right, I get it. Like, you're great, but please give me a break from you for a little bit. At least here's the thing, skip the intro for like 5 to 10 episodes, then give it back to me where I'm refreshed and I'm like, yeah, I missed it.
Once Netflix does the "Are you still watching?" thing,
yeah,
because
then
they feel bad
intros
for you. They're like, "Are you sure you don't want to get up? Like, you sure you don't want to hang out with your friends and go outside?
You've been sitting here watching reruns of The Office for hours."
Netflix is concerned.
Yeah,
and Hey Arnold was chosen for us by a multitude of people, Beantoon via YouTube, Whipitdevo, and Nickelforce via Twitch. So thank you to all three of you for choosing this one.
Yeah, thank you guys. Like, I'll give a little bit right now of my experience with the show. Like, I had seen it before, maybe a little bit when I was a kid, but not to any degree where I was like, oh, I'm a big fan of this show or anything. I might have just seen an off episode here and there, like at a friend's house or something. It wasn't something I watched regularly, so I didn't really understand the show or the appeal of the show aside from like, hey, it's a well animated, cool looking cartoon. I didn't get the gravity behind it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I definitely didn't latch on to any of the depth that the show has. For me, it was just like, I don't know. I felt like it was going to be a run of the mill Nicktoon. I mean, even as a kid, I watched it. I was like, yeah, it's just Nicktoon. It's basically Doug with different characters to me.
Yeah, before you really get into the nitty gritty of it, and then you're like, oh, so this is what it was about, which we'll jump into shortly. So the show Hey Arnold aired from 1996 to 2004, created by Craig Bartlett, developed by Craig Bartlett, Joe, oh man, this is a long name, and Solabahair, I don't know how to say this name, and Steve Vixton, produced by Snee-Oosh Incorporated.
Are you having a stroke right now? Like what?
Nickelodeon Animation Studios from 98 to 2004, and as Games Animation when it was used on the pilot and season 1. I don't know, that's written weird, but I think that Nick Studios was running under Games Animation at that point or something with that show.
Oh, weird.
It ran for 5 seasons, 100 episodes on the Nickelodeon Network. For a short synopsis written by Jojo Mack, the everyday life of Arnold, a 4th grader in a nameless city that resembles Brooklyn, New York, who lives in a multiracial boarding house with his grandparents and a motley assortment of neighbors and friends.
This is a very long description. Goodness. How do I do skip intro on this podcast real quick?
Yeah, skip synopsis.
Skip synopsis, please.
So who are some of the actors who played in this show?
So the voice of Arnold was provided by several different voice actors over the years, including Philip Glenn Van Dyke, Alex Linz, Spencer Klein, and Torrin Caudell. The voice of Gerald was provided by Jamil Walker-Smith. The voice of Helga, provided by Francesca Marie Smith. The voice of Phoebe, provided by Andy McAfee. The voice of Grandpa Phil was Dan Castellaneta, who's like, I can't tell you what the guy's been in, but I know he's been in live action things. He's just one of those guys that like you'll recognize his face, but you'll never be able to say what he's been in.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. Or am I just dumb?
I mean, he's Homer, he's Krusty, he's Grandpa, he's
You're
Barney.
crusty is what you...
Your face is crusty.
You're crusty. Fine, Joseph, you win this one.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, Grandma, a.k.a. Pookie, is voiced by Tress MacNeille, who we have talked about quite a bit. She's also on The Simpsons, alongside of this man that you know so well. Big Bob Pataki, the father of Helga Pataki, is voiced by veteran voice actor Maurice LaMarche, and also Helga's mom, Miriam Pataki, voiced by Kath Soucie, who we have gotten a lot on this show too, because she has that very distinct voice that you can't tell if you like or if it's nails on a chalkboard, but I like her anyway.
So a lot of great voice actors in this one.
Yes, quite a few.
And for a few tasty marshmallows, our big bowl of Hey Arnold cereal. Arnold's last name is actually Shortman or Shortman, which is what his grandpa calls him all the time, Shortman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that interesting. Got
I
it.
can neither confirm nor deny that, but it was one of the top trivias on IMDb, so I'm assuming, and it had a lot of likes behind it, so I'm assuming it's true if it's gotten that much support.
That's very strange.
Yeah. The city that Arnold lives in is a combination of Seattle, Brooklyn, and Portland. There are possible hints that the city is called Hillwood. For example, the Hillwood Medical Center or Hillwood Zoo. This is the first animated series on Nickelodeon to use children as voice actors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Craig Bartlett, the show's creator, is a brother-in-law of Matt Groening, maker of The Simpsons. In fact, Dan Castellaneta, who voices Homer Simpson on The Simpsons, also stars on the show as the voice of Arnold's grandpa, as you were saying.
You know, Joseph.
Just to rub that in a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
In 1987, while working on Pee-wee's Playhouse, Craig Bartlett created claymation cutaways about a character named Penny. Do you remember Penny from Pee-wee's Playhouse? Who had like the penny eyes?
Yeah, very, very minutely, but yeah, it rings a bell for sure.
So Craig Bartlett, the guy who created Arnold, created Penny as well and made those claymation cutouts of her. And apparently he made her a friend, Arnold, or at least he made in the same style as Penny some Arnold claymations that were Arnold Escapes from Church in 1988, the Arnold Waltz in 1990, and Arnold Rides His Chair in 1991. And the last one, Arnold Rides His Chair, was actually aired as a short on Sesame Street.
Oh, interesting.
Arnold, even before this show came out or was even thought about, was made in some form by Craig Bartlett, just with his claymation skills that he had from making Penny on Pee-wee's Playhouse. So it's all connected to way back then.
I think I know I watched Pee-wee's Playhouse. I think I've blocked a lot of it out because I got to tell you, pretty much everything on that show is terrifying to me. So, like, anytime someone said that's the magic word, I knew to cover my ears and eyes and then pretend I'm somewhere else because they were all going to scream. It was going to freak me out.
Yep.
There's a chair with a mouth and arms flailing about. Like, oh, man. Nope.
I think even the toilet was a dog or something, wasn't it?
I don't know, but
I got to confirm this for myself. I got to make sure I'm not making this up.
I get that confused with the Ghostbusters toy where there was a toilet monster.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I thought there. Oh, no. Okay, no. Here's what I'm thinking of. I don't think that's a toilet. I think it's just a white chair, but he's a dog.
That's weird, man.
So not a toilet, but I associated it with the toilet because it's a big white porcelain looking chair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the... Oh, wait.
Not the blue chair. The blue chair is
right.
cherry, and then there's the white chair. Yeah.
And there's just a random little pterodactyl for some reason.
Oh, yeah. Terry the pterodactyl, of course.
Made no sense.
The window had eyes. Man. It was all some kind of living nightmare. But
yeah.
So fun.
Maybe.
Lastly, Hey Arnold, the movie came out in 2002, which was the official close of the series. And Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie came out in 2017. And what that movie actually does is give closure to what happened to Arnold's parents.
about how they died terribly.
Well, I don't know what
No, I
the
don't
truth
know.
of it is. Yeah, I don't know because I didn't want to spoil it for myself because I do intend to watch this movie, but apparently this finally reveals what happens to his parents.
Nice. Okay.
And that only came out 2 years ago, so that's crazy.
I think we're going to have to watch it sometime then for sure.
Yeah, let's put it on our own list.
Yeah, we need closure.
So, what memories do you have of this show? Did you watch it much as a kid?
Yeah, I definitely watched it as a kid, not religiously or anything, but I'd seen it. I liked it for the most part.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, it was kind of the same for me. I enjoyed the show for what it was, which was just like another cartoon to me, but I didn't really get the deeper meanings behind it until watching it now. And then I'm like, wow, I was really missing out. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
a better person because I watched this show now, or at least I want to strive to be a better person.
Yeah, I think we've matured a little bit over the course of just watching Hey Arnold.
Yeah, exactly. Hey Arnold is my new religion.
Arnold!
So let's go ahead and jump into the episodes we watched for today's show. The very first episode, the highest rated episode, and finally a random listener chosen episode. Actually, in this case, we watched 2 listener choices, but one happened to be the highest rated, correct?
Yeah, so we kind of got away with it.
So the first episode was Downtown as Fruits, Season 1, Episode 1A. And for the most part, these are 2-parters, Part A, Part B, but what we watched were 2 longer ones and then one of these shorts. In the first one, which was really funny, Arnold and Gerald are cast as fruits in Helga's play, but when they get tired of Helga bossing them around, they decide to blow off the play and end up lost downtown.
I honestly think that even though, I was going to say you're not supposed to like Helga, but you kind of are. But Helga is one of the most interesting characters I can honestly remember from a cartoon, just based on like her thought process, because she's kind of the school bully, but she's got a huge crush on Arnold. So she's always like embarrassing and yelling at him and stuff. But on the flip side of that, she's also always like doing things without his knowledge that's trying to benefit him or help him and stuff. It's
Well-
very weird. Like she's very in love with him.
And I think that's making her a better person by proxy, even without
I
him
think so.
directly asking her to do anything. She does things to assist him anonymously.
Yeah, she
So-
wouldn't want him to know.
Right, because that would ruin her reputation. She is one of the characters who has the most kind of two-sided personality to her because we even get her inner monologue. I mean, they're kind of outer monologues because she's actually whispering them to herself, but we're seeing both sides of this coin as she tells Arnold one thing and then starts kind of speaking to herself about how much she loves him and whatnot.
Right.
And it's really intriguing.
It really is. What's funny is how scary she is towards like Arnold and some of the other kids and stuff. But then you got that juxtaposition where she's like just completely in love with them and would do anything for him. So it's really weird in that way. But I like that.
It's almost like even though the show is Hey Arnold, everyone's kind of revolving around him. He's a very unassuming kid. Like he's not super like outwardly expressive or anything. He just has strong morals and he
Yes.
stands up for them. But it's the other kids who are kind of going through all these ordeals and he's just kind of a part of them. And that's what I was saying earlier, where it's like there's a lot of pressure being put on Arnold because he's kind of having to, even if it's only in his mind, resolve all these issues or solve these problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny watching him as like the kind of more mature kid who's he's still a kid in his actions and his dialogue, but he makes really mature choices.
Yeah, except for like what it happens in this episode where they
Well, yeah.
so they're in this play. It's about the food groups like you were talking about. They are the fruits. So Arnold is dressed as a banana and Gerald is dressed as a strawberry. They are on the city bus heading back towards the school for opening night. And Gerald is just over it and he does not care. He's just like, we could just keep going on this bus, just see where it goes. And Arnold's thinking about it. He reaches for that brake line once they get up close to the school, and then he just sits back down. He's like, yeah, we'll just one stop. We'll just see where it goes. But yeah, they ride that bus like all the way to the end of the line, and they're not going.
Because they think it's going to bring them back around. They don't realize that it's going
Yeah.
to stop for the night at the bus stop. And the bus driver just kind of walks off. He doesn't even care. And so, yeah, they're kind of trapped out there. They try to use a payphone to call Gerald's parents, but payphone's down or something. So they're just kind of stuck out there, and depending on the kindness of strangers. And that's when like an interaction happens. It's probably a drug deal.
I figured it was like a mob thing, but
yeah. Well,
I mean, it could be
I guess
drug deal, but definitely mob related.
Mob related, absolutely. Because like supposedly, so okay, what happens is like they're standing out there by the payphone and still dressed as a strawberry and a banana, and this guy just like tosses him a big sack of money. They're like, what is this for? And he's just like, you know what it's for. And as he drives off, then like, so they're like, wow, people downtown are really nice or something. Because it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow, people downtown sure are friendly.
Oh, yeah. I like how the guy said it too. Like, you know what it's for. Like, he sounds all angry about this money he just gave them.
Yeah.
That makes me laugh. I love it.
And then like after they walk off with this giant bag of money, like this adult or these two adults in a strawberry and banana costume come back up and they're like, oh man, we're 2 minutes late.
That was good.
They then like, since we find out Gerald's not wearing anything under his strawberry costume because the spandex makes him sweat or something. They go and buy like fashionable clothes or whatever, or like hippie clothes kind of.
I was gonna say, you say fashionable, but this is like 70s beatnik disco.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I don't know what it is. It was gross, whatever it was. I don't like it.
It's like if they were both dressed like Doug's sister.
Yeah. It was kind of like that. I was not a fan of it, honestly. I'm like, where did they get clothes like that? Oh, I don't know, man.
And then they go buy themselves some food. They end up at a bar.
Oh, yeah.
Just to where they're like entertaining everyone and buying everybody a round of drinks or something.
Yeah, they go in and buy everybody a round of sodas.
That's what it is, yeah.
I'm not sure how, like, why they went to a bar in the first place, but that is where they went.
Yeah, we get no explanation of it. They're just at the bar dancing on a pool table.
In the background of that, too, you actually see the two mob dudes and they're like talking and stuff like that. And Arnold kept his shoes, which were also looked like bananas because they were helping him pull off his new threads. And one of the mafia guys sees it and realizes that they must have been the ones that got the money.
Yeah, and so that ends up with them being kind of chased out of the bar. I mean, well, in the background, while all this is going on, Helga's kind of like stumbling through her play, trying to figure out a way to do it without the fruits in it. And then
just having to extend it and have everybody keep singing, even though the songs are over.
Asking people to stretch out their parts. And then the whole time she's like outwardly furious at Arnold, but then she keeps whispering like, oh, my love, like, where have you gotten lost or whatever?
Yeah, she's all concerned. Okay, I love, and this is, I brought this up last week and you're like, what are you talking about? But like when she's like fawning over his photo, but then that one kid, that pervy kid shows up behind her and he's like,
oh yeah,
like watching, and she just punches him in the face. Like that happens. We didn't get to see that, I don't think, in the other episodes, but like, I swear, like every other episode or every few episodes that happens with that same kid, and it cracks me up every time.
They end up going to a psychic kind of.
Yeah, Zamboni Jones.
Yeah, the great Zamboni. And he's just giving him stuff, like telling him that their karmic energy feels off and they've wronged somebody. And I like how Gerald's thinking in his head of like Helga and how they didn't go to the play. And he's like, nope, can't think of a soul.
Yeah.
Like, he just really does not like Helga. And then, but Arnold has like the moral strong point where he's just like, no, we have to go fix this. We have to fix our karmic energy. On their way back, though, what's interesting is like they still have these hundreds of thousands of dollars, and instead of keeping them like while they're, in the cab back to the school, they just drop them off with this family who's like having car trouble. And I just was like, man, this is, even though it's like subtle, this is a really strong like indication of Arnold's character.
Yeah, it was kind of, I like too the reoccurrence of that line where that family with the car trouble that gets that money from them is just kind of like, oh, people downtown are just so nice.
Yeah,
I loved that. I thought that was awesome, like bringing that line back from where they are. And yeah, they end up making it to the play just in time for the end of the play, and they come on and they do their quick bit, and then the rest of the participants come out and they do the last song and just kind of finish it up and everything, and all is well. And Helga is furious and also full of joy and happiness at the same time.
Wait, like, get my hands on you, Arnold, you beautiful creature. Like, she's so conflicted. So the second episode of today's show was Arnold's Christmas, season 1, episode 11. This was the one that was highest rated and chosen by Nickelforce.
Yes.
When Arnold receives Mr. Wynn's name in the boarding house's annual Secret Santa draw, he decides to make the most special Christmas ever for the lonely boarder.
Dang, man. Oh.
I didn't expect this show to make me cry, but then we got this episode.
I mean, to be honest, we should expect most things to make you cry. But, like, usually it doesn't get me also, but this one did. This one definitely did. Yeah. But at least I like the levity, though, with, again, with Helga in this one where she's out Christmas shopping. Like, you get the two sides of the coin, to borrow your phrase from earlier, with Arnold, who is he's talking about the spirit of Christmas and, Christmas miracles and trying to do a good thing for somebody. And then on the other side, Helga is like, Christmas is about shopping like a barbarian and making sure I get what I want, like looking out for me.
Christmas is about snow boots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They want those snow boots so bad. What was it called? Something Spumoni.
Nancy Spumoni snow boots.
Nancy Spumoni snow boots. I got to tell you.
Every time they would say Nancy Spumoni's name, there'd be this music. Or every time they would look at the boots, it'd just be like, Spumoni. Spumoni.
I got to tell you, though, some of the best ice cream ever. Spumoni. Have you ever had Spumoni ice cream?
Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing. It's delicious. You will thank me if you have it. It's kind of like the Neapolitan where there's 3 flavors together. But this is chocolate, cherry, and pistachio.
Oh.
And it's delicious. It is absolutely delicious. If you ever go to an old spaghetti factory, if that exists in other places aside from the Midwest, if you go there and you get your platter or whatever, and you say you want one of the desserts, they bring you out some Spumoni for free. So there you go.
Spumoni.
It's delicious.
So we also see like Gerald and Arnold talking, and Gerald is getting like everybody ties for Christmas. Like his dad, his grandfather,
so everybody wants
his
ties.
Little sister. He's just like, everybody likes ties.
Yeah.
Arnold's trying to teach him the real meaning of Christmas, where it's about showing people you're close to, you care about them. And you can't just get a tie for everybody because it's not special. It doesn't mean anything. And so Arnold's really trying to push this message forward. Again, like coming on with these strong moral messages.
Yeah, Arnold definitely has the same kind of morality as my fiance, who would prefer to like even make a gift by hand for everyone if she could, like if she had the time for it. Where my idea is like, I'll just give everyone a gift card. And like it could just be a Visa gift card so they can go wherever they want. Buy your own stuff.
I have too much stuff already. I appreciate when people give me gift cards now.
Yeah, see? But Mr. Wynn, oh man, first of all, his voice cracks me up. I love him. He has a very strong accent. They don't say exactly where he's from, but I think there's pretty good indications it's probably Vietnam.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially when he's speaking Vietnamese, or at least that's what the subtitles say.
Well, see, I was correct then.
Yeah.
But like his accent's so strong, but like I can't tell if it's the voice actor's actual accent or if he's really exaggerating it, like leaning into it. Because there's that one part where Arnold goes to his house and is trying to learn, like just talk to him and kind of figure out what's something I could get for him that would, mean something. And he kind of brings up, oh, I bet like maybe it's cold in here. I bet you could use a sweater. And he opens his closet. He's like, oh, I have plenty of sweater. Like, it's just, oh God, I loved it. That was one of my favorite audio clips from this entire show. But he tells the story about 20 years ago, and it was during the war. And I mean, this was done in the 90s, so obviously this is, farther back. But we're guessing this is supposed to be Vietnam. And he's talking about how, he was raising his daughter by himself. Because of the war and stuff, it just wasn't safe for them anymore. and he was trying to escape and get them to a better place. And there was a helicopter taking off. I guess it was supposed to be the last U.S. helicopter that was in his village, and they only had room for one. So he gave up his baby and gave it to one of the soldiers, and he couldn't get out of the country for 20 years. So he gets back to New York or wherever they are, basically, and he's been looking for her ever since, and he's never been able to find her.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dang, man, they really went for a deep, like, real world story, man.
Yeah, like to everyone else, to regular audience, like Mr. Wynn is just like a regular boarder in this house. It's a very multicultural house. There's a lot of different cultures in there, but you don't know anything about anyone really aside from what they tell you. So this is who knew this whole time? Like he had just been here looking for his daughter. Like he had such a deeper story for just a quiet guy who you didn't know much about.
Yeah, and who, like, I remember from other episodes he gets poked fun of a lot because he loves bananas. He's always wearing like banana print stuff. I think some of the kids, I think Gerald even said it in this episode. I think called him the monkey man or something like that. Which at first I was like, is that racist? But then I realized, he's always wearing banana stuff. So I think it was more of a just, a playful kind of thing that wasn't meant to have any ill intent.
I doubt it. This show's so wholesome. I don't think it would go there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, dude, that was like, this was basically like, hey kids, welcome to crushing reality of adulthood.
Yeah.
The episode.
So for 20 years, he's been, he just got there after 20 years and he's been looking for his daughter ever since. Really, Arnold's idea for what to get him for his Secret Santa is he's like, you know what? I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to find his daughter. Like, what would be the best gift for him? Something that would be personal.
Yeah.
His daughter. Like, nothing I get him would add up to that if I could do this, if I could pull this off. And on the other side of things, Helga, to impress Arnold, is trying to get him the perfect gift. And she's going through all these different things, trying to find him like the perfect skateboard, the perfect video game, whatever. And finding reasons why that's not going to be good for him. It's not personal. It's not, or he already has it or whatever. So there are two sides to this that really kind of merge into one towards the end. And I really was surprised by that. And that's kind of what drew tears from me, was just seeing how strong of an impact Arnold has had on Helga as a person.
Yeah, it was a very, it was a huge departure from her usual, angry setting. So Arnold ends up going to this guy who, I'm trying to remember what he did. Did he work for a federal office? Is that what it was?
The Federal Office of Information.
Yeah, so this guy, Mr. Bailey, is talking to him and trying to get him to help him track down Mai. And he's basically saying no. And then his wife calls and they have a little conversation. He's complaining about having to do all the Christmas shopping. So Arnold and Gerald volunteer to do the Christmas shopping if he will help them find Mai. He says, if you get everything on this list, I'll do it. So they get everything except the last thing that they can't get is the Nancy Spumoni snow boots. Which I like because they go to all these stores and every time they ask, like, the store clerks are just laughing at them hysterically. And they're like, we've been out for a month. And like, I like when the one guy keeps calling his coworkers over. He's like, hey kid, tell them what you want. And he'll say it. And they're like, ah.
Yeah.
Helga overhears what's going on. And that night, Christmas Eve, she ends up getting an early Christmas present from her mom and ends up being the snow boots. And she's so excited. This is the thing she actually really wanted.
The only thing that she really wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I'm sure she got a billion. And she puts them on. She goes running around outside in the snow. And then she thinks about Arnold and like that kind of cuts away from her. And then you see Arnold's disappointed because Mr. Bailey won't help him because he didn't get the boots. So Arnold goes home defeated. And that's when Helga intercepts him and is just basically like, you have to do this. And she gives up her boots and gives them to Mr. Bailey, who's going to bail out on the deal anyway. But she gives this really heartwarming, like, first a rant, but then this actual heartwarming like speech to him.
Yeah, saying like, if you leave, that little football-headed kid will never believe in miracles again. And I liked Gerald's talk with Arnold preceding that, where, Arnold's defeated and Gerald's telling him, like, hey, man, like, you tried harder than anybody ever would have. And really, that's what Christmas is all about. Like, even though it didn't work out, you tried your best. And so he's just trying to lift him up. And then, Helga's on the other side, like, having this moral dilemma over her boots, ends up giving them to Mr. Bailey to complete his gift list. And then even though he's about to go home, like you said, she talks him into staying. But it's a cutaway where you're not sure. It's like you assume it's going to happen, but you don't see it happening. And I like that. Saying, like, even if it takes us all night, we have to do this.
Yeah.
It cuts to the next morning where everybody's getting their gifts from their secret Santas. And then Mr. Wynn doesn't have anything under the tree and he's looking around.
Did you not feel like when he's just looking in that fireplace, did your soul feel like it was being crushed slowly?
I felt like Arnold looked, because Arnold looked just super defeated. And he wasn't like saying anything or going to tell him, like, I tried to find your daughter and it didn't work out. He just wasn't going to say anything. So he didn't know what to do. He was trapped. And I was feeling so bad. And I was like, even though I could have assumed what was going to happen right then, I didn't know for sure. So I was still like on the edge of my seat, like, oh, please let this work out, because I won't believe in miracles ever again either if his daughter doesn't show up right now.
Exactly. Yeah. I was feeling I felt like my soul had been removed and replaced with coal, basically.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is now what you are in essence. And I'm like, I feel like it. And that's the doorbell rings. Arnold's grandpa gets it, and Mr. Wynn's still looking in the fire. And frickin' 20-something-year-old Maya walks out through the door. And, I lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got me.
From the moment that Helga started talking to Mr. Bailey, I already started tearing up. And it just continued until the end of the episode, really.
That got me, but the very last line of the episode uttered by Helga got me too pretty good, because it was just, I mean, with the way that she always acts and then she did this and stuff and still refuses to take credit for it, like she's outside the apartment in the snow. I assume that she brought Mai over there.
Yeah.
And she waited outside. She could have gone in with her and she didn't. She stayed out there and she just whispers, "Merry Christmas, Arnold." And then that's the end of the episode. Yeah. And I was like, oh, no.
I think when Arnold was confused about how it happened, someone told him, like, maybe you've got a Christmas angel looking out for you. And that's when it cut over to Helga. And it's like, man, even if you are initially annoyed by her character because you're only seeing the bully side, if you look deeper, like, she is such a complex character, like you were saying.
Exactly. Oh, my God. And what's interesting, too, is, this show is essentially supposed to be about Arnold, but I honestly think that, I don't know, I almost feel like Helga is honestly the breakout star of this cartoon, to be honest.
She's the one with the most change going on. Arnold's very set in his morality. All the other characters have very kind of preset personalities.
Yeah.
Helga, she's so back and forth. And she's almost like the hidden figure in this whole thing who's making all these things. Even in the next episode, we see it happen again.
Oh, yeah.
She's helping the situation out. So let's start talking about the next one before we gush over Helga more. So the third episode of today's show was Parents' Day, Season 5, Episode 6. And this was suggested by Beantoon.
Yeah, thanks, Beantoon.
Thanks, Beantoon. So at the Parents' Day competition, Arnold learns that even though he doesn't have real parents, his grandparents are just as good as everyone else's.
Oh, so I did not realize, and I'd seen this as a kid, and I don't know if it just never clicked or whatever. I just never, I guess, realized that he didn't have parents. And I wasn't sure what was going on. I didn't know if they were dead or was he adopted? Were they, out of the country for work and have been gone a long time? I'm not really sure. And the truth is actually somewhere in there, but we honestly don't know what that truth is unless maybe we watch that movie. But
Arnold doesn't know what is up with his parents either. So his grandfather comes in and tells him bedtime stories about his parents that seem a little embellished, but there's hints of truth to them as well, where they're in the jungle and trying to help find a cure for certain diseases and stuff. And just for the betterment of mankind.
Yeah, they definitely do like a Doctors Without Borders type thing. They go to like foreign countries or like remote areas and stuff like that where healthcare is just not accessible, and they provide medicines and do things to try to help the villagers and stuff like that. I mean, the way his grandpa tells the stories, it's very Indiana Jones. I mean, they took a couple scenes straight out of Indiana Jones in his story, but yeah, it's interesting. We don't know really where the truth is at that point. But when they announce the Parents' Day at his school, like his teacher's talking about it, and it is like as you're describing, this is a little tournament, like of relay races and fun little things to do with your parents, as a team, and may the best one win. And Stinky, that tall dude with the big hook nose, was just like, "Are you coming with your grandma and grandpa since you don't have parents?" It's like,
Yeah.
dang, like, way to just lay it out there, buddy.
When he actually does go with his grandparents, because they're super excited to go on the first day of it, we get to meet Helga's dad also at this. I mean, I'm sure he's been in other episodes, but this is our first time seeing him in the 3 that we watched. And he's just this like really, he owns like a beeper company or something, but he's like,
he's a terrible dude.
He's a terrible guy. He's like a bro dude, like sports, like very competitive, very like, I have to be the winner situation. Not a we player. He's just an I player.
I was gonna say, I was really surprised too in like how bad he badmouthed his wife. Like, he was very verbally abusive, and I was just like, oh, they're not shying away from that. Okay.
And it's almost like a nature versus nurture thing. It's like the way that he's raising Helga is very indicative of at least her outward personality before we see.
Definitely.
If we didn't have any of the inner monologue of Helga or see all the things she did in the background, then she would be basically a reflection of her father.
Absolutely would be. And she basically is her father, except that she's kind of been growing morals as she goes. And I think we can probably attribute a lot of that to Arnold. And mainly, I guess, for her love for Arnold. It's her love for him that has helped her progress a little bit, and also kind of seeing like the interactions, I think, with Arnold and his grandparents, like,
yeah,
they've got a very close relationship, and it's in this episode she kind of sees that her dad is kind of a bad dude.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Because like in the first day of this 2-day event, like everybody's competing, like, Helga's team or Helga's parents and her are winning at first. And then like, I think Arnold's team is in second, but they're playing these games. And then her dad just like, we have to win. Like, we're not going to let some orphan boy and his ancestors win. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, that was rough. I was like, dang.
And he says that out loud, and that really like
that
distracts Arnold while they're doing the egg toss. So he ends up losing that match. Not to like Helga's team already lost it because she just let the egg hit her because she was distracted by something else. And then Arnold hearing him say that, like, gets distracted and kind of just gets disheartened and doesn't want to do it anymore. Like, that's the last event of day 1, but doesn't want to come back for day 2 because he's just not feeling like they belong there or he belongs there.
And Helga like was upset about it, and she even was just like, I have to apologize to him. And she kind of tried, but her natural tendency to be kind of a bully took over. And so she gave a very backhanded apology and stuff. But I thought it was kind of funny how she thought it went really well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's like saying all the wrong things and just like you're fine, right? And Arnold's just like, yeah, whatever. But she's like, okay, good. And so, yeah, she's not reading those verbal cues or seeing what's happening with him. And so, yeah, she thinks it's fine. She did her apology. She feels better about herself. But then it comes to in between, we've got after day 1.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Yeah,
that conversation with him and his grandparents, because that was very out of character for them because they're always so goofy and stuff. Like, and his grandma's always portrayed as being really kind of crazy.
Well, she's
but,
a
like,
kung fu
she has
master
this-
also, or karate
Yeah.
master also.
But she's always so weird and goofy and makes no sense. But she has an extremely lucid moment. Same with his grandpa, where like, you know, he says he doesn't want to go back for day 2 and stuff, and he's really depressed, and like all the goofiness kind of stops, and his grandma is talking to his grandpa, and she's like, Phil, I think you need to go talk to him, and like you've never seen them be serious before, so it was like a big deal,
Right. And she was saying like, he needs you, Phil. Like, to better go talk to him, even though he doesn't want to go, like at least go talk to him and hear him out.
I was gonna say, it's not that he doesn't want to talk to him too. It's just like, I don't think that he's ready, because it's like, it's obvious that his grandpa or both of them know a little bit more about his parents than what he does. And he's just like, I don't think he's going to want to hear this right now. But she's like, no, you have to.
And so this is what gives us kind of the origin story, the actual story of Arnold's parents and what happened to them, where even how they met up and how they, you know, got together originally.
Yeah, it was a fun story too. I liked it. It was very cute.
It was an adorable story. And then like they're home with Arnold and everything, and then they get called out like on one last mission basically, because the mountain people are going to die off if they're not cured of this disease that they have the cure for and whatnot. So they go out this one last time on their airplane, and they're just never seen again. Like the airplane was lost. They don't know where that is, and no one's ever heard from them since. So it's presumed that they're dead, but even Arnold still has hope. Like, hey, maybe they're still out there. And Grandpa was honest with them, where he's like, you know, it's unlikely, but you know, it could be like maybe they're just lost.
Yeah, and they have that kind of, I don't know. I think Arnold gets a new appreciation for his grandparents, because it's like, you know, he's been so focused on not having his parents. I think he lost sight a little bit, just temporarily, of how much his grandparents mean to him and how much they care for him. Because, I mean, he has basically been their child ever since his parents disappeared. You know, so he's got like this new appreciation for them, and he's feeling renewed and wants to participate in day 2 again back at the tournament.
Let's touch on Arnold's nightmare that he was having about losing his parents.
Yes.
And then like it's really like I don't remember the specifics of it, but I remember it's like a lot of him losing his parents and flying away without him and whatnot. But then it sort of has a 180 where his grandparents are there supporting him and kind of encouraging him. And I think that's part of what kind of re-energizes him, like you were saying, where he gains a new appreciation for his grandparents and how supportive they are of him.
And that inspires him to go back. And what I like too is his grandparents, and this is part of the fun of the show, were actually doing really well at all the challenges for the most part. Like they're very athletic, which is really funny.
Yeah.
Like his grandpa, though extremely frail and looks older than dirt, is extremely strong, and his grandma, like he says, like basically a kung fu master, which is great. But they go there, and I mean, they're not winning the tournament by any means, but they're close. I think it really comes down to Arnold's family, Helga's family, and Phoebe's family. Phoebe being basically Helga's best friend, possibly only friend.
Yeah.
But Helga is over her dad. He's being a jerk to her. He's being very verbally abusive to his wife. Like, I mean, embarrassing and insulting her and stuff like that, which is awful. And he's just taking this thing way too far. And Helga's had enough. And she, at one point where it came down to Phil, Arnold's grandpa, and Bob doing this little spar thing over a big thing of Jell-O, she whispers to Arnold's grandpa how to beat him by hitting him in the ankles because he's too big and it's too much of a load for his ankles.
Yeah.
So he does it and defeats Bob. But what I like about that is that they still didn't win the tournament. Like Phoebe's family won the overall thing. And I like that aspect of it. Like it just feels more realistic.
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say the same thing. Like I really appreciated that they didn't win, because that's what you would have expected to happen, where it's like, and then Arnold and his grandparents win, everybody's happy. But it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect to be a happy ending still.
Yeah, and I think if they would have won, I mean, that could confuse the moral of the story with winning. You know, it wasn't the point of the episode was not to win something. The point of the episode was to find that love and appreciation for family, and the result doesn't matter.
Well, yeah,
and I liked that.
And that was really the trophy of it all, was Arnold learning to appreciate his grandparents more, or just them becoming closer as a family was more of a reward than any contest could have offered them.
Right. And again, too, like a lot of growth with Helga also, who sees like her dad for what he really is and sees Arnold and his family as like they deserve to beat us, basically.
Yeah. And she again, just like last episode, ends up saving the day, but you would never know it. No one will ever know that was her, or that was kind of her doing in that part of it. And she even congratulates Phoebe after she wins. And I was like, man, like she just has such good like closing lines. Like Helga, for as complex of a character as she is and as much of a bully as she is, has such a great heart, or at least she's developing a really good heart.
Absolutely.
So just to close that episode out, like he ends up having another dream where he kind of gets in a plane that's very similar to his parents and then flies away in the sky to kind of a happy tune. And it's like, yeah, that's just like those nightmares that he had before about being left. Like those are gone. And now it's kind of like a clear sailing in the sky.
Yeah, he's feeling free.
Yeah, feeling free. Good way to put it. Well, Chris, this is about time we send our inner kids down to Hillwood to hang out with Arnold and his friends, because they'll be much better role models than we ever will. Then see what they thought of the show, Hey Arnold.
This cartoon was really cool, even though I really want to kick Arnold's head to see if I can score a sports goal. But one thing has me really confused. Do I want Helga as my girlfriend, or am I afraid of her and her bullying power? I don't know. I still gave this cartoon 5 bowls of oh-so-illuminating painful boyhood problem cereal out of 5.
I honestly didn't know what to expect coming into this show. Football-headed kid hanging out with his friends in a fictional city. Okay, big deal. That's like every other show. However, once I actually started watching it, my expectations were immediately exceeded by this amazing cartoon. The supporting characters are great and all, but Arnold was a bright and shining sun in this very diverse, surprisingly wholesome universe. Also, even if it wasn't stated out loud, it seems like every single storyline was capped with some sort of positive moral message. So, if you walk away from the show and you're not immediately feeling like you need to make a drastic change to your own life to become a better person, then I don't think you actually watched the right show. Overall, I'd give Hey Arnold 5 big bowls of football-headed short man cereal out of 5, and I highly recommend you watch this show, if for no other reason than to at least become a better human being.
And let's not forget, kids, never make fun of short men, because I'm just saying it for a friend.
Yeah, for two.
His name is Joseph.
2 friends. And yeah, and I'll repeat that for a friend, Chris. I think we're both the same height.
We are the same height. Yeah. We're both vertically handicapped.
We are both large boys, ages 12 to 14.
Large soft boys.
That's
what
boys,
we are.
ages 12 to 14.
That sounds really pervy out of context. So do you have any final thoughts on Hey Arnold?
I know I'm surprised often by these cartoons and stepping back into them and seeing like how morally strong they were, but this one especially really touched me. I was like so surprised by it because I was not really expecting it to be much at all, just another cartoon. And yet this is one I would absolutely, alongside Steven Universe, want to show kids to be like, hey, live like these people are in these shows. And you're going to not only improve your own life, but everyone's around you. And just seeing kind of Helga's interactions just based on being around Arnold is how I feel that people watching this might even start to emulate just by taking inspiration from this show. So I absolutely recommend it. I really think if you've never watched it, please watch it with a very open mind. If you have watched it as a kid and you didn't think much of it, watch it again. I really think you'll get a different take on it. Yeah,
this was way more than I remembered or expected. I went in, as I said earlier in the episode, thinking this would just be like a fun run-of-the-mill Nicktoon with things like, I don't know, goofy gags and a good lesson to tie up each episode. But instead, I felt like this was a cartoon that really introduces some really heavy topics for kids and kind of almost like bridges that gap between childhood and what it means to start growing up and dealing with the oncoming adult world, because it's not all fun and games. I mean, you can deal with some pretty sad and heavy stuff And I think this does a great job of introducing that idea of what it means to grow up to kids. And it does it better than I think I've seen any other show do it so far. So if you haven't watched it, definitely check it out no matter what age you are, because it's absolutely worth it. And like Joseph said, if you did see it as a kid, watch it again as an adult, because my perspective of it is 100% different than it used to be. And I gotta say, honestly, I think I view Helga as the hero of this show. I mean, Arnold, because he's steadfast. Arnold is what he is. He is the force of good. Helga is the one that's actually on the journey. Like, she's the one on the actual hero's journey in this show. And I really like that. And they did an amazing job with her character.
Man, that's such a great way to put it. I didn't think about it like that, but you're right. It's Helga that's going through these changes. It's having these moral dilemmas, whereas Arnold is a very steadfast character. He knows how he wants to live his life. He learns a thing here or there, but Helga's the one who goes through the most transformation.
Absolutely. And before we go any further, we have one new 5-star rating on iTunes that somewhat confuses me, but I'm going to read it. It is titled Great Podcast, 5 stars, and this is by Nixolino, and they say, please do Mickey Mouse Club and I will add you. I mean, I'm not sure what you're adding us to, but like, yeah, we'll add Mickey Mouse Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Sorry, we will add Mickey Mouse Clubhouse to the list, and thank you for that review.
And thanks for adding us to.
Yeah, thank you for
whatever.
Yeah, thanks for the ad.
Yeah,
yeah. Hey, we do appreciate it.
We also appreciate Nickelforce, Whipitdevo, and Beantoon for suggesting this show to us, because man, what a surprise!
Yeah, that it was great, and please don't give us any more emotional shows for a while, because we can't take it, guys. We can't. We just can't do it.
Is this the second or third week in a row that I've come out of the show crying? At least the second, maybe the third.
At least the second one for sure.
Gosh.
So, because King of the Hill got you last time.
Yeah,
sure.
It's so good.
That was rough. But yeah, like, we can't take much more of the emotional strain. So take it easy on us, guys.
Well, listeners, looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. So next episode, which will be in, like I said, 2 weeks, we'll be watching
Barnyard Commandos, submitted via Instagram by @themonstermailman.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch this, and I'm going to tell you why right now, because I was so jealous of my cousin for getting a Barnyard Commando toy that was like it was like a big ram with like a rocket on his back.
Oh yeah.
Because for that, it was like an early Christmas gift that he got. My early Christmas gift was like one of those bendy, like Gumby type toys. It was Santa Claus. Yeah. And so I was jealous.
Let me tell you something. You and I, Joseph and I have this outside joke about me and him being twins, even though we look nothing alike and are not, the same skin color either. So like, but dude, I also had the bendy Gumby, while my cousin had multiple Barnyard Commandos toys, and I was also extremely jealous.
Oh, well, we're living some kind of parallel life.
I threw one of his in the toilet after he pooped in it because I was so mad. I wanted those toys, man, and if he couldn't have it, they were going to get covered in poop.
Wow.
So,
well, that's one way to go about it.
That's how we roll.
Either way, I'm excited to watch this show again, but now I won't be able to get you throwing one in the toilet full of poop off my mind. So thank you for that.
Yes, isolate that thought in your mind and just keep it there.
I'm going to have nightmares about it. Whereas Arnold was sailing through the clouds in an airplane, I'm going to be riding a big pile of poop through the clouds.
Watching me throw toys.
Yeah, watching you throw toys in it. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Heck yeah.
Well, once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
We'll see you in a couple Saturdays.
Presented by Nerdsloth,
a place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.